Welcome back, guys. So today we are going to be looking at gradient tool. This tool is used to apply two or more colors to your shape. So once I have the shape highlighted, I can quickly go to my swatches. If I'm seeing a color that has one or more colors, that basically calls for gradient. But then there are many ways to do the same thing in Adobe Illustrator. First of all, you could see that I have a tab here called the gradient. If I don't have this here, I'll quickly go to my windows, scroll down to gradient, and it's going to fly out for me once I select it. So I will select the object. I'm going to click on this gradient that I have here. You could see this. Once I click on this, it's going to apply two or more colors to this. All right, by default, this gradient that I have here has just two colors, and using the gradient tool, I can decide how I want the orientation of this color to be. I can decide to, by default it's already in the horizontal direction. I can decide to place it vertically, whichever way I want to. I can decide to place it diagonally. You have that liberty, right? You can actually drag a color from your swatches to the gradient slider. If you don't have your swatches here, just quickly go to Windows, scroll down to swatches. Once you click on that, you're going to have your swatches populated. So I can pick a particular color and drag it to this location, and it becomes part of the gradient. I can shift the location of any of the colors on my object slider, and I can play around with this slider here to decide where I want or how I want it to be positioned on my shape. So I'm going to pick this particular one. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to apply this, and I'm going to replace this color that I already have here by simply clicking and dragging the color on top of the already existing color. Once I do that, it will change the color. If I don't want to do it this way, I can quickly double click on this. Then I have this. I can change the position of these colors right here using my color palettes. I can change it. I can also bring my cursor down on this color palette and then pick any color I want. If I don't like this, I can still click on my swatches here and then pick any color of my choice. I'm going to pick the dark red, and you can see I have the eyedropper tool here. That's like a color picker. Let me click on this background. You can see it changed this to this. Let me click on this one here. It changed this to this. Let me click on the background. It changes to that color. So once I click on this, I'm going to give it another color. Let me try to give it like let me make it lighter gray. All right, so that looks good to me. Now the next thing I want to show you is there are many gradients already existing in your swatches. So once I go to the swatch libraries and I scroll up to the gradient, I will see that I have a lot of already existing gradient. Okay, so that means that apart from the one you can mix with your hands, there are already existing gradients in your software that you can leverage on. So once you click your direction tool, you could see that we have many hundreds of already existing gradients. So I'm gonna stay here. I'll select my shape and then I'll give it any color I like. Select this, let me give it a lighter one. Select this one, let me give it a darker one. Let me give this one a more lighter look. This looks good to me, so I'm gonna select this one. Let me pick something else. Let me give it this color. Yep. Pick this one. Yeah, let me give it this one. I think this is. Yeah, this looks good to me. So whatever you want to do, all right guys, so you have the liberty to do that. I'm gonna close this now. So you already know how to pop up your gradients, you know how to get it. So quickly move to your swatches, scroll up to gradients, and then click at any point, choose anyone, and then navigate to look for whatever that you feel that is right for the job you are working on. Now the next thing I want to show you is the gradient types. There are three types of gradient. We have the linear, radial, and freeform. The linear basically means using line to position, to orient how the colors is going to be here. So let's assume I have this. I'm going to click on already existing gradient that I have here. Once I click on this and I select my tool, you're going to see like a straight line. So that's what the linear is, using a straight line to position your colors or orient your colors. Radial basically means using circle to orient your color. So if I select this and I switch from linear to radius, it's gonna change. You could see this changed, right? So if I click on my 2 again, this thing is no longer becoming a line. You see that from here to here, from the middle of the circle to the circumference of the circle, we have a radius here. So I can click and drag at any point and then orient the colors how I want it to be oriented. So you are at liberty to do that. Final one is the freeform. The freeform is kind of using points to add your color. So I'm going to select this and I'm going to switch from radial to freeform. Once I click on freeform, you could see I have by default 4 colors. I can add as many point colors that I want. I can decide to click on anywhere around this, and once I click at any of the points, I will select the kind of color I want to apply there. I can choose to apply this brown color here, pick this, apply the lighter one, pick this, can add red, pick this, add black, pick this, add orange, add blue, pick this, let me add yellow. All right, so you are at liberty to do whatever you want to do, using the freeform. All right, so this is basically how to use this. One more thing I also want to show you is that when I have a gradient anywhere on my object, let me assume I have something like this, I can decide to play around the opacity of this object, right? Remember, I have opacity here and I have location. Location means the position of any of these. You can see this one is at position 0% and this is at position 100%. I can switch the position of these two objects by dragging them to a different location. You can see that changed from the point that this thing was, and I can add some other colors here. Once I click anywhere, it will keep adding colors for me, and I can decide to remove colors by dragging out, click, drag out, click, drag out, click, drag out. All right, so these things also come in handy whenever you choose to make some modification or slight modification to your colors. Now, one last thing, we don't only apply gradient to the fill part of the shape, you can also apply to the stroke, right, to the surrounding of that object. So if I select this object and I click on the stroke, I can apply gradient to the stroke. So I'm going to pick the already existing gradient on my swatches, right? So I'm going to pick this, pick the red one. You can see it's obvious here, and of course I can add both fill and stroke, right? I am at liberty to do that. I'm going to do this. I'm going to switch to radial, right? Let me add this, make it radial. Go to stroke, add this. I'm going to make it radial. Let me get more obvious ones. Like this, make it radial. That's good. So I'm going to select this one. I'm going to pick this color. That's radial already. Of course, freeform cannot operate on the stroke, okay, but it can play a major role on the fill. Okay, so we can see it's already activated. So if I move from fill to stroke, see it's not being highlighted, but if I switch to the fill, it becomes visible. All right, and I can click at any point and add any color that I want. I'm at liberty to do that. Okay, that looks good. I hope you've been able to learn something today. All right, see you in the next video.